And on this Wednesday, March 25th, 2026 edition of Newsmakers, major social media companies have been found liable for addicting kids to their platforms. This comes after the jury in Los Angeles sided today with the plaintiff in the landmark federal trial involving Instagram's parent company Meta and YouTube's parent company Google. The young woman accused the companies of designing their platforms to get her hooked early on, leading to depression and suicidal thoughts into adulthood, and leading her to being awarded $3 million in damages for the negligence involving the companies. This comes a day after a New Mexico jury found that Meta is harmful to children's mental health and in violation of state consumer protection law. Jurors found there were thousands of violations, each counting separately toward a penalty of $375 million. A Meta spokesperson says the company will appeal. A new study shows an increase in telehealth services of young adults seeking abortion pills. Katie Gray reports.
A recent study published in JAMA Health Forum found that teens in the U.S. are increasingly using telehealth services to obtain medication abortion pills, with young people aged 18 to 24 ordering medication abortions at higher rates than older adults. The study analyzed requests for medication made to an online telemedicine service and compared requests before and after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in June 2022. I'm Katie Gray.
A Georgia woman facing charges for using an abortion pill is now out of jail. Alexia Moore was released from jail yesterday after a judge set bond for a murder charge at $1. The 31-year-old allegedly took misoprostol at the end of the year, which resulted in the death of the infant. A cancer nurse turned archbishop has celebrated her election as the first woman to lead the Church of England. Charles de Ledesma reports.
Sarah Mullally, a former cancer nurse who became a priest at the age of 40, has been installed as the Archbishop of Canterbury in a ceremony celebrating her election as the first woman to lead the Church of England.
Willingly, I share with you the service of the churches of this country and pledge myself to strive for the full visible unity of Christ's Church in truth and love.
Although Mullally, who's 63, formally became an archbishop in January, Wednesday's event marked the beginning of her public ministry as both the head of the Church of England and the spiritual leader of the worldwide Anglican Communion. Mullally begins her tenure as archbishop at a difficult time for the Church and the Communion, whose members are deeply divided over issues such as the role of women and the treatment of LGBTQ+ people. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is making changes to the military's chaplain corps. In a video posted on X, he said chaplains will replace the rank insignia on their uniforms with their religious insignia.
Their rank will not be shown. This speaks to the difficult balance of the duality of a military chaplain. A chaplain is first and foremost a chaplain, and an officer second.
Hegseth added that the chaplains will be seen as among the highest ranks because of their divine calling. He said it would make some service members less anxious about approaching a chaplain of higher rank to discuss their problems. Hegseth also says the military will be reducing the number of faith codes it uses from more than 200 down to 31. Faith codes are the list of religious and spiritual preferences tracked by the military. Hegseth says the changes are important.
This update is part of our efforts to return the Chaplain Corps to its core mission of serving the spiritual needs of our warfighters, 82% of whom identify as being religious.
Hegseth adds chaplains are the spiritual and moral backbone for our nation's armed forces.
In combat, in crisis, and in loss, a warfighter needs more than a coping mechanism. They need truth, big T truth. They need conviction. They need a shepherd.
And that's Newsmakers for this Wednesday, March 25th, 2026 edition. I'm Keith Black.